So if you want to find out how much YouTubers are making through AdSense, you should check out a website called socialblade.com. From here, you can enter in the username of the YouTube channel, and you can see their daily views, their daily subs, and their estimated daily earnings. Yes, this is a wide number, but I can verify that the mid-range is pretty darn close. There are a lot of different factors that determine how much you actually make from AdSense, and that's beyond the scope of this video. So just by looking at these numbers, if you want to become a full-time YouTuber, you can see that it takes a lot of views to make a living from this. There's no way I could make a living solely off of the AdSense with a channel my size and the views that I get. I actually have about 8 different revenue streams that I use to make a livable wage, and we'll get into more of that in a future video. Today, we're going to talk about sponsored videos and how much you should charge for those sponsored videos. So I have looked all over online to see if I could find some sort of formula or chart to figure out what to charge sponsors. I could not find anything, and I get asked these questions all the time. And so for a long time, I just made up numbers out of my head and then presented them to the potential brands. Recently, I got a formula direct from an MCN, which is a multi-channel network. And again, that's a subject for a whole nother video. Maybe we'll get into that someday. But this MCN gave me the formula that they use to connect brands with their YouTube clients. So that formula is find out what your average views per video is after 30 days, divide that by 1,000, and then multiply it by 30 to 50. This will give you a range on what to charge potential sponsors for an ad placement in your video. This could be a pre-roll or a 30-second spot within the video. Now note, this is for one-offs only. Multi-video deals usually have a much lower number, but that means you're secured over many videos over a longer period of time. So for our first example, if your videos average about 10,000 views after 30 days of life, then you would take that, divide that by 1,000, and then multiply that by 30 to 50. So with 10,000 average views after 30 days, that comes out to $300 to $500 per sponsored video. If you get 100,000 views per video after 30 days, again, we'll divide that by 1,000 and then we'll multiply it by 30 to 50. And that will give you a range of $3,000 to $5,000 per video. So this is the formula that some MCNs and agencies use to connect brands with YouTubers. This is not an absolute formula. This is a starting point. Some brands don't have that type of budget, and some creators are worth more. So every deal is different and the specs may vary. Some brands will want a certain amount of airtime of their product, so then you have to adjust your formula accordingly. Some brands will ask you to make a dedicated video on their product discussing the benefits and uses. Generally, these dedicated videos demand 2 or 3 times as much as a sponsored video. Why? Because these videos are one long commercial that will sit on your YouTube channel. Whenever you take on a sponsorship for your video, it must add value for you, your audience, and the brand. It needs to be a win-win for everybody, or a win-win-win. And of course, some people are going to voice their opinion about your sponsored videos. It is your job to connect the brand to your audience and bring value to everybody. Something that's too off the wall is going to result in negative feedback and possibly unsubscribers. And if you solve a problem for your viewers with that brand, then everybody wins. Again, every situation calls for customization. This is just a starting point. We are going to continue this conversation over on Patreon. Patreon members get the extended vlogs, and plus they are eligible for the weekly giveaways. If you want to learn how you can become a Patreon member and help support what I do, go to patreon.com/Picciuto to learn more. This is part of a series of videos that I'm working on to help other YouTubers. A few weeks ago, I put out how to grow your YouTube channel, and there's lots of great information in there, so go check that out. This is my second channel. Over on my main channel at youtube.com/makesomething, we do all kinds of woodworking projects and builds, so go check that out. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope this helps some of you out, gives you a good starting point on what to charge brands and what you should get for sponsorships. And you can also just use this information to see what other YouTubers are making if you're curious. So as always, be safe, be passionate, and make something. So today, here are the 5 things that we're going to talk about. Number 1, making great content. Number 2, thumbnails and titles. Number 3, using social networks. Number 4, search engine optimization and analytics. And number 5, goals.